Welcome to the Narrowing Path, Walking the Spiritual Walk. My name is Steve Van Einstein. Thank y'all for joining me again today for James Allen's daily reading from his book of daily meditations. We'll be doing May 25th, obviously, because that's what today is. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to it. These last two about the power of now and the power of today and the strength that you can have in that have been really encouraging for me. So it reminds me I get to be different right now. I don't have to wait till something else happens. I don't have to make it contingent upon anything. And I think that's pretty amazing. That's pretty awesome. So this will be fresh to you and fresh to me, meaning this will be my first time reading it or hearing it right on the podcast with you guys. So you'll hear my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading. So here we go. May 25th reading from James Allen's daily meditation. Be resolute. Be of single purpose. Renew your resolution daily. That is a mantra. In the hour of temptation, do not depart from the right path. Avoid excitement. When passions are aroused, restrain and subdue them. When the mind would wander, bring it back to rest on higher things. Do not think, I can get truth from the teacher or from books. You can acquire truth only by practice. The teacher and books can do no more than give instructions, and you must apply them. Those who practice faithfully the rules and lessons given and rely entirely upon their own efforts will become enlightened. The truth must be earned. Do not be led away by phenomenal appearances or seek communications with spirits or the dead, but attain to virtue, wisdom, and knowledge of the supreme law by the practice of truth. Trust the teacher, trust the law, trust the path of righteousness. Put away all wavering and doubt and practice the lessons of wisdom with unlimited faith. That's what this comes about, where a desire to change and a new philosophy, a new perspective collide is action. If you are not taking action and you're sitting in your current state, current circumstance, and reading all about good intention, reading about truth and honesty, and reading about faith and love, and reading about forgiveness, and hoping that by some miracle it'll set into you and you'll have the desire to be honest, to practice these principles by just reading, you won't. Straightforward, you will not. And it was as evident as it might seem, you have to practice it first, right? You have to practice honesty before you see the fruits of honesty in your life. And it might not come immediately either. It might be a gradual change of life and perspective and circumstance, and then a moment of realization after it's occurred. All right? So we don't get to just think there will be this magnificent change of character overnight. We get the opportunity to take different actions, to behave like our ideal. That's what yesterday talked about. We have to have an ideal. We have to have a goal that we're going to be working towards, and then take actions to be like it. It's so important, this action piece, this practice piece of it. It's huge. It's really huge. And I fall down on it sometimes, honestly, and I I find myself going, that would be nice, or I wish I could be like that. And it's some old thinking I have to get rid of, right? These are things that I can let go of in my life. And I can start to immediately practice something new and different. Now that's a pretty amazing thing to me. I didn't understand the strength of now, the strength of a moment. So let's go through and we'll start this again. That excuse me. That first line, that's one of substance right there. I'll tell you that much. Be resolute. Be of single purpose. Renew your resolution daily. I mean, that's a very good line of advice, right? To be like your ideal. You don't want to make it a physical thing, make it a material thing, right? I guess you could. But you'd be shorting yourself on immense amounts of experiences. You'd be shorting yourself on an immense amount of truth. If your singular ideal was a materialistic possession or achievement. When your single ideal, when your single purpose here, be resolute, be of single purpose, is to achieve a certain character, a certain strength of character, fortitude, integrity. The world has no bounds. That's the amazing thing. The world has no bounds. So, and renew that resolution daily. Keep that at the forefront of your mind. Because we lose these things. We lose these things. We get lost in the joy of living. That comes along with these changes of character. So, all right, he went on to say, in the hour of temptation, do not depart from the right path. So, be aware of what's happening. Don't let your own ignorance and sin pull you off your purpose and directed ideal. All right? Avoid excitement. I'm going to tell you something. Excitement was a hard one for me to stomach because I always associated excitement with positive, right? Oh, if there's excitement going on and that's happiness, that's joy, that's a positive thing, but it's an elevated state, right? Joy and happiness and all those things is not necessarily excitement. It's just a lot of energy and a lot of commotion, like anger. It's similar to anger, actually, which is amazing to me. That perspective, that association, or that comparison, more so, because you can make just as bad or worse decisions in a state of excitement than you can when you're fearful or angry or just being selfish. It's exciting, so it must be good. That's what I always assumed. No, that's not so. When passions are aroused, restrain and subdue them. Right? Do not act on those impulses. Do not act on emotional binges, emotional highs. And we're talking passions, we think sexual a lot of times, but it's not only that. We're talking emotionally charged moments. Yeah, anger, sex, extreme moments of excitement, like I was saying. Other depression, anxiety, fear, things like that. We can't take action on that. We have to restrain from acting on an emotion we're feeling. When the mind would wander, bring it back to rest on higher things. Continue to bring the focus back on this single purpose we were talking about, this daily resolution we made. Do not think I can get truth from the teacher or from the books. You can acquire truth only through practice. Again, so this is It's so true. So many hope to just find that one sentence that changes their entire life perspective. But this doesn't work like that. It's been my experience that it doesn't work like that. I can read as much quote-unquote spiritual literature as I possibly could get my hands on, that my brain could tolerate and remember, and that time would allow. And it would do nothing if I did not speak an honest word in my life. It would do nothing if I did not practice forgiveness for a moment in my life. These actions need to happen before any amount of truth can come to us. So truth is only acquired by practice. And he expands upon that in this next paragraph. The teacher and the books can do no more than give instructions, step-by-step instructions sometimes. And he must apply them. The magic's in the application. The magic's in the action. The magic is in the work, everybody. Those only who practice faithfully, right? So faithfully means to in this term, or in this instance, and quite honestly always, almost I would say, is to practice without a guarantee. We are practicing faithfully, meaning it is in good faith that we are doing these things, not good faith in the person that we might be doing them for, because humans can only be a human, but we do this in good faith that it is the right thing to be doing. There's a bigger plan out there for us doing the right thing. Not necessarily a plan of reward, but a plan of spiritual growth, which a lot of people have changed their perspective for that to be the reward. When we have those honest moments of love instead of hate, and forgiveness instead of grudge, and we know we'll be growing for it, because that's defeating our own self-serving ways and practicing a real way of spiritual living. Those who practice the rules and lessons given and rely entirely upon their own efforts will become enlightened. So again, it's our practice. This is our effort we put into practicing these things. Not just for the sake of practicing them, right? Like, we don't just be honest for the sake to be honest. We be honest working towards our ideal. We be honest because it is the right thing to do, right? It's an intentional honesty. It's an intentional forgiveness. It's an intentional courage. It's an intentional integrity. Intentional disciplines. The truth must be earned. That's the truth. That is the God's honest truth, as some would say. It has to be earned. Simple fact. You can have all the rules in front of you. You can have some steps in front of you. You can have some principles written down. But the truth in your soul and the knowing of that truth comes from the practice, and it must be earned through rigorous and dedicated action. Do not be led away by phenomenal appearances or seek communications with spirits or the dead, but attain to virtue, wisdom, knowledge of the supreme law by the practice of truth. So again, don't look for assurance. Practice in faith. Not try to speak to spirits, don't speak to the dead. Don't reach out to them saying, is this the right thing? Practice in faith. And your doubts will be nullified. Your doubts will be cast aside. Practice. Just practice. Attain to virtue, wisdom, and knowledge of the supreme law by the practice of truth, by the practice of the spiritual way of living. You'll be blessed beyond your wildest dreams. And the last line of the main portion here, trust the teacher, trust the law, trust the path of righteousness. That is faith, right? That is where faith comes in. The blind trust, the blind faith. We practice this way of living. And before you even realize it, you've changed You've had vital changes to who you are and what you do. And this is how he ends it with this. Put away all wavering and doubt and practice the lessons of wisdom with unlimited faith. You walk in faith. You choose faith over doubt today. Beautiful reading today. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful reading. It's in the action. A desire to change meets a new way of living in action. Seems easy. Seems perfectly obvious, but the reality is it's not. And it seems perfect. It seems so childishly simple, but incredibly difficult. At least it was for me. But after you do it for a while, it definitely gets easier. So, I'll go ahead and end it there. Thank you all for joining me again today as I continue on this path this year of reading every day from James Allen's Book of Daily Meditations. It's been quite a journey so far. I'm looking forward to seeing where the rest of this journey takes us for the rest of May and the rest of the year. So I look forward to y'all joining me again tomorrow. Until next time, thanks.